Hi, it's Don Thornton here, Don the Short Sale Guy, and I wanted to talk to you today about, you know, making sure that whenever you're trying to find money for whatever investment project that you're trying to finance, that you incorporate storytelling. And this is something that I found that has always been a successful way for me to find in all the money that I've ever needed to get to finance my deals. I've never used hard money. I've never had to JV with someone to get money. I've always been able to find investors that wanted to get a nice return for their for the investment, but never actually have any control of the property. I didn't want to give up control was basically what I was trying to say. So I mean, honestly, sales has been. I mean, sales has probably been around since the time of Babylon or before. I mean, it's very, the process is simple. You give them a product, you explain it, and say, okay, this is what it's good for. This will be better for you. Why my product is better than your product? And then hey, let's you need to buy the property. That's the way it's been forever. But in real estate, obviously, real estate investing has its own little what's what I'm looking for, nuances, right? Because it's not quite the same thing as going out and trying to sell Tide or a product or this is the better couch or whatever. Sometimes, actually, a lot of times, it's not enough to just explain why this product is so good, or in our situation, why this investor should invest his or her money into this house I'm trying to do a flip on, because there's lots of different things out there. Now, granted, the fact that they can make a really nice return and have their investment secured against a undervalued piece of real estate. Now, that's a really good selling point. Nevertheless, I can tell you right now. I don't know if you ever read the well, I'm gonna take a caveat here. It wasn't from the book I was going to cite here, but there was a book I read. I hardly recommend it. It's called Noble House by James Clavell. It was written back in the 70s, I believe. It was about Hong Kong, and there was like an Asia trilogy done by the author, and he's a great author. Anyway, it's set in Hong Kong, and it's about the British who basically set up all these big, huge conglomerates that were based on the Opium Wars back in the early 1800s. And this particular book, this volume was set in the 1960s, early 1960s, and one of the main characters who had the Noble House, the biggest trading house in Hong Kong, he was talking about a summer that he spent when he was a college student in a bank of a Chinese banker, is very successful. The guy couldn't even sign his name. He was illiterate, but he knew how to lend money. And he said the biggest lesson he ever learned was that people lend money to people. They don't lend it to a deal. And so, the person who wants to give you money has got to look into your eye, and has to feel like that you're going to be able to give his investment back, because ultimately that's what every agreement is. You can have as many contracts as you want, but ultimately a handshake deal, that's always has been the best way to do a deal, not because of obviously that's risky. I'm just talking about the fact that if you have a relationship with someone, that all my deals, for example, for the most part, except for a few, have always been handshake deals. Because of the trust between two people. When you talk about a new investor, it's a little bit different. Obviously, you got to have contracts and mortgages and all that kind of stuff, which I get into in my course about how to find private money. But I just want to talk right now about storytelling. Okay, so that's a little bit of a tangent, but there investors. Private individuals who have money that is sitting somewhere, they want to get a better return than get in a CD. They don't want to risk it in the stock market. It's up and down. It's very volatile. That's the fact that you can offer them a nice return, guaranteed with a undervalued piece of real estate. I mean, that's good, and that could be enough for a lot of people. But you still want to give them a story about why they should work with you, and why this is a good investment, and why this type of investment is something that would be good for them. So this is I guess what it's called is you want to get the stories, tie the emotion to something, right? I mean, it's not all about just dollars and cents. And when you tell your story, about the house, you're telling your story. You're giving them the background of what's going on, who the owner is, and so on and so forth. So that's why I like to talk about stories. So for example, I can say I had this. I'll bring a picture of a house that I did, or I'll pull up on my phone or whatever and say, yeah, we had this house in Deltona, and we got we did a short sale for about 4 months, and we got it down to a really good price point, and the bank was going to let it go for $60,000, and so we needed an investor. So we needed $60,000 for to pay to that was the purchase price, and then so $60,000 was the initial investment, plus we needed about maybe $3,000 or $4,000 to do a quickie rehab, which I call putting lipstick on a pig rehab. And oh, by the way, I do sell a course about how to do MLS flips and put lipstick on a pig. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. I'll you can reach out to me in the look in the description of this video on my YouTube channel here. You can see that. So I need let's say $70,000 or $65,000 to make the deal work. So I said that I would pay the investor 10% of his money. So, and I said that the market was hot. It looked like it was going to be able we were able to get it sold quickly. So that way I anticipated it would be about maybe 60 days to get it sold from the time we took title to it till we actually got it under contract and resold, flipped basically. And I went into it. I said, now this is a sad story. It was a divorce. The homeowner, the man has it now. It was a bad divorce. He got sick, and the wife just didn't want to stay with him, and she just said, you know what, I'm out of here. I can't take it. She found a lover, and it was just, she took the kids, and so the guy's all alone. And but we were able to get the bank to give him some rehab, or I'm sorry, some relocation money. So we're going to help him get another start or whatever, and this gets a heavy burden off of him. So we go and you tell about exactly what's going on with the homeowner. Okay, so then you have you're just putting a face and a history behind just what would normally be just a regular real estate deal. Okay, and you may think that people are hard-nosed and only count money. They don't. You need to touch their heartstrings a little bit and give them an idea about this, is that you're not just doing a regular real estate transaction. You are helping people, and they would want to also be involved in basically a very good thing that's happening here is helping people get out from under a bad situation, saving their credit or salvaging their credit and getting some money to have a new start. Or a different example, right? I mean, right now I'm working on a property. We've got a duplex down in Pompano Beach in South Florida, and it looks like the bank is going to give us a pretty significant discount, and I'm going to be looking for $100,000, maybe a little bit more, but it's probably going to be in that range. I'm going to need some investment money to cash it out. So, a smart, I do the same thing. I tell the story about, this very nice couple and younger couple, and, they, unfortunately with COVID, they lost their income, and it's, they're just trying, this is a rental property. It's a very good rental property. We're just trying to help them to limit the damage to their credit and get them back on their feet. And, as far as you're concerned, I mean, this thing should go quick. Again, maybe 60 days, maybe 60, 90 days. And we're offering 10% for the, as a return. And that's a heck of a return of investment for this kind of, for a quick turn like that. So, would it be possible to get an investor to pony up the money without going into the details of the story? Maybe. But I tell you what, it's a lot easier. And again, what you're wanting to do here is you're establishing a relationship. You want to establish a long-term relationship with your investor. And the best way to do that is, again, talk about the stories. Talk about the fact that there's a human side to this, that they are helping people. People want to feel like they're good people, and they want to feel like they're doing something good, and at the same time they're making money. Okay, that's why, for example, one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel, Short Sale Stories, is specifically because I want that to be a way for me to get people, for future investors or potential investors, to see the stories of what's going on, how things are working, what was going on here, and how we help this person and so forth. Because not only am I establishing credibility, and I'm also establishing my expertise in the area, but I'm also showing them that this is a very good thing that we're doing, that we're not vultures, that we're not bottom feeders just trying to take advantage of other people's misery and so forth. So the nice thing is that if you're talking with someone that maybe has other investors pulling at them, and they're deciding which person they want to go with, I guarantee you that if you tell the story and you put a face behind it, you're going to see that this is going to be your investment opportunity, will be the one that makes more sense for them, and they're going to be more apt to invest with you. So I would say that understand me correctly here at the end. Your numbers have to work. Okay, you can't go in there and tell a story about, a sob story about how we're going to help this person, but that investor ain't going to make this 10%, and he doesn't feel like that there's enough equity there built in that if you have to fire sale it, he's still going to get his money back. If you can't do that, then you're not going to win no matter what. This is about, this is like think about this as a flip, right? You want to have curb appeal. Stories give you curb appeal in trying to get your private financing. Okay, so just like when you want to flip a house, you want to make sure that the yard looks nice. You put down fresh mulch, you put some flowers up or whatever. Why do people put a fresh coat of paint up on? Because they want the curb appeal to be better, right? Stories are your curb appeal when you're establishing a relationship with your private investors. Okay, now I in the description of this video, and if you're reading this on my blog, that's great, or in my podcast, whichever way, you're going to get information about how you can learn more about how to establish private money funding sources. And I teach that as part of what I do. I have a Facebook group, and I have a course that I do. I basically teach everything that I know, and I've been doing this for 18 years. I've done really well at it. So I would encourage you to reach out to me, and we can talk more. I can offer you the entire course. This is just a small part of it. Okay, this is just a taste of what you can get. But honestly, again, 18 years. So many houses, 1,500 houses at least in that period of time. Not one time did I dip into my own pocket. Not one time have I gone to hard money or had to give up control of my property, or had to give it away to a hard money lender, or a cash buyer, because I couldn't find the money to finance it myself. And that's the dream of every wholesaler. So if you're wholesaling, you need to come and learn more from me about how to do this, because it can change your life and change your career. Okay, thanks a lot for listening to me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.